Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready to dive into something kind of meta. We're talking AI, but also how AI is changing business networking.
No crystal ball needed here. We've got the OCMN State of the Union, their 8th edition from November 2023.
Right, so get this. It's 2023, we're all still figuring out the whole post-pandemic life, and OCMN releases this report that's 90% AI generated.
Wild, right?
Talk about meta. Using AI to predict the future of networking, it's like we're living in a sci-fi flick.
Totally. And it gets even better. This report was basically their prediction for networking in 2023, 2024, and guess what? We're recording this just before their 9th edition comes out.
Whoa, talk about perfect timing. So, did their AI-powered predictions pan out?
Let's find out.
All right, let's unpack this thing. Their big prediction, artificial general intelligence, AGI, is about to totally change how we connect.
Yeah, and AGI, this isn't like, asking Siri to add something to your grocery list and it forgets.
Definitely not.
This is the big leagues of AI. Think of it as AI that can basically do anything a human can intellectually, maybe even better.
So like a virtual assistant who doesn't just schedule your meetings, but also brainstorms marketing strategies with you.
Exactly, a super-powered business partner. And the State of the Union says as AGI becomes more real, it's going to make digital and virtual networking explode. Online platforms, matchmaking tools, you name it. It's the new normal, not just a pandemic thing anymore.
Interesting. So it's not just about convenience. They're saying this shift is changing the entire point of networking.
Absolutely. Peter Klink, OCMN's founder, he predicts we're moving away from networking just for professional gain. He sees a future where it's about shared interests, not just, shoving business cards at everyone.
So instead of feeling like you have to pitch your project at every event, you could connect with someone who shares your passion for, collecting vintage stamps.
Exactly. It's about building genuine relationships, even if they don't lead to a business deal right away.
Makes sense. So much of what we do is already digital.
Right, exactly. And to help explore this whole AGI and networking thing, Klink brought in a team of virtual advisors.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. Yeah. He brought in 6 virtual advisors, all AI generated, to talk about the future of networking.
It really makes you think. This whole report stresses the importance of human connection, but AI basically wrote it. Kind of ironic, right?
Okay, so break it down for us. What did these AI entrepreneurs actually say?
Well, there's Shirley Boyard, and she thinks networking in this post-AGI world is going to be even more important, both for professionals and businesses. It's the key to growth and success in a world that's always changing, she says.
Makes sense. If things change so fast, staying connected becomes even more crucial. What about Charlene Allegria? What's her take?
Charlene's all about online platforms and building a killer online presence. We're talking like your LinkedIn is your new business card, that level of important.
So it's not just who you know in person, but who you're connected with globally.
Exactly. Then there's Lisa McDougherty, and she's saying AI is going to personalize the whole networking experience.
Okay, so AI is going to play matchmaker for professionals.
Exactly. Think algorithms that know your professional interests, skills, goals, and then connect you with the right people and opportunities. And it doesn't stop there. Lisa says AI will manage your social media, even draft messages for you, all to up your networking game.
That's pretty wild. So far, it sounds very digital. What about that human touch? Does that get lost?
That's where Bob Rosenberg comes in. He's all about authenticity, real human connection, even in a digital world. No matter how good AI gets, nothing can replace that in-person spark, he says.
I'm with him on that one. Can't imagine a world where we only interact through screens.
Right. And that's exactly Bob's point. It's about using these powerful AI tools, but also remembering to nurture those relationships that really fulfill us.
It's about quality over quantity, right? A few meaningful conversations instead of a million business cards.
Exactly. And James Ferguson takes that even further. He sees business networking as a continuous learning experience. Surround yourself with inspiring people who push you to grow professionally, he says.
So less about using your network and more about mutual growth and inspiration. Love that. And we can't forget Justin Blond, our last AI expert. What's his 2 cents?
Justin's all about being proactive. Nurture your connections, embrace collaboration, he says. Especially in a world that's all about working together, you got to build those strong relationships and not just wait for opportunities to fall in your lap.
So take initiative, build connections, don't wait for someone else to do it for you.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got all these AI insights, and it's clear they see a big role for digital. But it's interesting how much they line up with what Peter Klink himself is saying. And speaking of putting your money where your mouth is, Klink's actions at OCMN speak volumes.
Oh, they do. He's making some bold moves that say he's all in on this digital future.
All right, then, spill the tea. What's Klink doing at OCMN that has everyone talking? So Peter Klink, OCMN's founder, he's all about this digital future, even says so in the report, points to virtual meetings, remote work, all that. Like, the pandemic hit fast forward on that shift, and there's no going back. Totally. And it's interesting, right? This AI report that's all about human connection is also saying AI could make us LSS reliant on traditional networking.
Okay, now I'm a little lost. Is AI here to help us connect better or make connections obsolete?
If we really look at what Klink's saying, it's more a shift in focus. He's predicting AGI will level the playing field for specialized knowledge and skills.
Because if AI can code, design, write, even coach, then those skills matter less than WHO. It's more about how you use them, right?
Exactly. Klink says this forces us to get clear on our unique value. It's not enough to have a contact in a certain field. It's what doors they can open, especially the ones AI can't yet.
Okay, that's the professional side. But what about the social aspect? Networking to make friends, have fun, all that.
That's where it gets really interesting. Klink actually sees AGI freeing us from this idea that networking has to be purely transactional. He's picturing a world where people go to events to have fun, share interests, and the pressure to network is gone.
Now, that's something I think a lot of people could get behind. No more awkward work small talk, just genuine connection.
Exactly. And remember Bob Rosenberg, all about authenticity. That's even more important now. Klink seems to think that as AI takes over the routine stuff, connects us digitally, those in-person moments become even more valuable for building real human connection.
So not ditching our online networks, but recognizing they serve a different purpose than face-to-face.
Right. It's like you scroll through social media to see what your friends are up to, but nothing beats actually grabbing coffee with them, hearing their stories firsthand.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
So it's all about balance, using AI tools, but also nurturing those relationships that bring joy and fulfillment. Which honestly sounds like a good life philosophy in general, not just for networking.
I know, right? And this all ties back to something else Klink talks about with digital connection.
Oh, tell me more. I'm hooked.
He's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. Klink's making sure OCMN is ahead of the curve on this whole digital shift.
How so? Give us the inside scoop. Okay, so Klink's all about the digital future, but what does that look like in action? Did OCMN set up shop in the metaverse? Are we all getting fitted for virtual reality business suits or something?
Actually, Klink doesn't get into the tech itself, but he does mention something kind of cool. OCMN launched this 24/7 online social lounge for their members.
Okay, so maybe no VR suits yet, but a digital space where you can connect anytime, anywhere in the world, that's pretty innovative.
Right. And it really highlights a key part of his vision, breaking down barriers of time and geography, making networking more accessible, more inclusive.
And it lines up with his prediction about AGI leveling the playing field. It's like he's building a digital world that's more equitable, interconnected.
It really is something to see happening in real time. This AI report telling us to prioritize human connection, but also predicting tech will be even bigger in how we connect.
Mind-bending, for sure. So for everyone listening, what's the key takeaway? What did we learn from this deep dive into AI, networking, and the future, according to Peter Klink and his AI entrepreneurs?
I think the big takeaway here is that we're about to see a huge change in how we connect. Professionally, personally, all of it. AI is going to be huge, no doubt. But it's not about replacing human connection entirely.
Right. It's about understanding the value of both.
Yeah.
Using those AI tools when they make sense, but remembering that those chance encounters, those genuine human moments, they're still so valuable.
Couldn't agree more. And with OCMN's 9th State of the Union coming out soon, it'll be really interesting to see how these predictions played out, what new insights they have.
Great point. It makes you wonder, in a world where AI can curate your newsfeed, even simulate conversations, what makes your voice, your perspective, your human touch stand out?
Now that is a question worth thinking about.
It is. Until next time, keep those connections strong, online and off. And as always, happy networking, everyone.